Welcome back, and this is Winter Data Meetup. And our next speaker is Aleksei Marchenko, who will share his interesting talk about creating a visualization of interactive visual representation of data flow using Power BI. So, Alexei, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I would also mention that that visualization, that tool is, let's say, at no cost, because Power BI is allows you to use your Power BI desktop application, create and publish it to the web and share the link. Considering that it is not secure, but if not sharing to the web, then just access through your password. Nevertheless, let's start. So what I'm going to tell you, some words about myself, of course, what I'm doing, maybe something about the context, what is the data lineage and why we are using it in our daily work as a BI analysts, and how it is done through source to target mapping and through further visualization. And if we will have time, I will also show what is under, how queries within Power BI are done, and how it is all implemented. So let's start. Well, I have a variety of experience. Actually, I have worked not only in IT, not only fulfilling those roles mentioned here on the slide, but also working as a lawyer and some other roles actually. Anyway, if we're talking about IT, I was here not only BI analyst, but also a project manager, and was in charge of the whole data in one comparatively small organization, of course, comparatively to EPAM. So what do I do now as a BI analyst? Well, actually, it's a sort of superhero because we deal with all these aspects within the project. Not only working as a BI analyst, understanding what is required, what needs to be done, or what are the business processes, and so on, but also about how it should be. Well, that's all about data projects. So we are investigating what are the data that should be consumed, how it is to be transformed, and of course how it should be reported in certain tools and visuals. And doing that, there is no way not being a data analyst, not querying data, not understanding it, not profiling, and all that stuff. And of course, a sort of architecture guy who needs to understand and even a bit design what is going to be done, how all that data project should be implemented. And when proceeding to the implementation, there is also a role where a BI analyst even work as an engineer, and especially for the side of reports and visualizations. And when there is no specific engineer on the project, he plays that role on a project. That is usually a Tableau developer or Power BI developer. And then, or even before, doing all that testing, organizing tests and quality assurance. That's it. And given that, we are usually dealing with the project, and that is a conceptual sample, what is inside of each data project. As you can see, there are a lot of transformations, consuming data from various sources, transforming it, and then building all that stuff over that transformations. Here I marked that in red, those boxes that are about that data lineage that will give a light on what is that in the whole concept of a data product. Let's go. Here it is. So in every project, everywhere, we need to understand what is coming in. And here we've got in any kind of tool to be in place data source registry that is coming out of certain data acquisition layer. And so we need to understand it and somehow document it to be available not only to the developer's mind, but also to analysts, to anybody who would like to go and look behind the hood in the project. Then, of course, getting data, we need to understand what's happening inside, how it is transformed, all that detailed stuff. And of course, what do we finally get? And here there are some additional terms that are, of course, connected to data lineage. That is metadata, that is everything about data, data about data. That is understanding what assets, what units, what key data elements we have. Having for all that sort of data glossary that will translate us the meaning of, let's say, attributes of any table to its actual business meaning and be a bridge between developers and business. And finally, data lineage. That can be a term that describes what's going on during all that data transformation. Here is a good picture telling us what is that and actually why it is done. So here we've got a sample of sources, transformations, layers in between source and target, and everywhere, beginning from any box here, we need to understand what data we have consumed, is it required elsewhere, what's happening actually. And we should be able to do that forward. It means from the sources of each layer, how it is connected to the next step, next layer, and also backwards. Like I see certain KPI in report. What that mean, where it comes from, and step by step go into the source. What sources are required to build that KPI and how it is actually done. So in any organization, in that or another way, data lineage should be in place. Why? That's because, well, it shouldn't be in the head of a BI analyst or a developer, and should be present to be able to be shown to anyone, so that next developers or business or whoever wants will be able to deep dive, to investigate, to understand where the data comes from, and when switching to another sources, doing certain migrations, anything won't break, because you've got picture, you've got understanding what's going on, what are the links between certain layers from source to target, and well, that saves a lot of time and money accordingly. Given that, there are certain enterprise tools for a data lineage. Well, you see the leaders here. Collibra is mentioned. That's actually a tool that's on the current project that I'm looking at, and the Power BI report that I have built and sharing now, it was actually built for production for our certain use for the use of developers, for our team and for our stakeholders both. And here I would like to mention that nevertheless we have Collibra at place. and that is a very powerful tool that can do many things. But nevertheless, we have done a Power BI report. Why? Well, not mentioned here because in our case, it is slow, unfortunately. Too many assets, too many relationships, and we needed a quick solution that will allow us to give a quick picture, to capture a brief understanding on what is going on, and proceed with our pipelines enrichment. And besides that, Collibra costs money. I actually don't know how much, but it costs. And of course, there are in-company regulations of how it can be used, who has access, while Power BI and certain, let's say, on-hand tools can be a good reason for MVP, for data lineage MVP, building that quickly and without breaking corporate tools and corporate policies for that tools. So it's let's go from words to the picture. That's actually what we did. We came to a project, and on that project there was that kind of transformations. Here is a table level transformations describing what goes where, which tables are used, and let me show the same in the report that we have developed. Having the picture is fine, but we need to get more interactivity. Here we've got sources, then transformed through certain layers to the final reporting views, not even reports. How we're using it. So let's say, for example, we need to understand that table, what is used there, where it goes to, and besides that visualizations, we've got here a table with certain links to a Confluence page where all the transformations can be detailed either, well, in any kind of, there can be a part of a code, there can be a visual that describes the logic inside, and so on. Same with the nodes here, so we can click at any node and understand, okay, in order to build that so-called auto book table, we need certain sources. There are certain scripts doing that. They all are in certain DAG, and here we are getting quick descriptions what's happening. If one wants to go to more detailed descriptions, here's a link. Click, drill down, and investigate further. That was our first step. Let me give here well, that looks like a source to target mapping, and it is it actually. In the classic source to target mapping is well, actually a table that describes the source, transformation rules, and what is the target for certain transformation rules. There can be any other details, whatever you want. That's well, upon the decision of team or whoever is doing it. So in order to deep dive from the table level to the level of columns of how they are transformed, we have started to capture this in a certain Excel. Here, as an Excel file that is used further on to be visualized through Power BI. That's actually a table level. And the logic here is pretty simple. So we need to describe, to show what is the source. All we want to show here about the source, we capture here. Well, database, schema, table, whatever. Then for each source, we have certain targets. Or let's put it in another way. Let's start from targets. That will be better. For each target, we've got anyway in all those transformations, we are getting targets. And the question is where it comes from. We have described targets, and in order to describe where it comes from, we tell, okay, there are certain scripts, certain tags, and here we can place a description, a quick description of what's happening on if it is not enough, or there is an option to deep dive. Here can be a link either to Confluence with the text description, with any kind of description, or even write to the code, like here. Okay, we can drill down into the code, or into the description of the code, and out of there to the code, and that will describe us, bring us to what source is used for that. On the table level, that is pretty simple. That is actually used for visualization that I have already shown. Drilling down into the columns detalization, we've got certain transformation on the column level. That means we now need to do the same for the column. So that means for each column that we have described in that part, we've got certain source and a description how source has been transformed to the target. So here all pretty much the same logic. What tag was used, what script, URL to the script, or URL to certain description of this script on Confluence page, and a short description. When we have this, we are able to dig down further on with the use of visualization. Okay, Excel is pretty enough. You can look down here, you can find certain fields and try to understand where they come from. But that is not enough. We need to do that source and target mappings that can be visualized. So let's see how that is done. There are several ways to do it. Let me show the first one. Several ways to do it. We can use any one that will bring to the same result. The result is to understand what is going on. Let's just try a backward analysis. Let's have an example of I have seen in some of reports certain field. I need to understand where it comes from. Let's take a region cluster, for example. Okay, here I get that on the tables level, it is coming from here to there, and we can see that both in visuals or in table form. So we can see that, okay, region cluster is coming somewhere from another level, and the source columns for that are cluster and cluster shift TCD. To dig down further, we would like to understand, okay, and what is the source for cluster and ship to CD? So we can add this. We can add here, okay, and now add here a cluster, understanding where it comes from, and add here ship to CD. And here we are getting the full path from the first level to the latest on how it is transformed, table level, column level, and all the same with certain descriptions, links, all through the source to target pipeline. So we can click here, read about it, or understand out of this small piece of code how it is done. Of course, everything is clickable here. That means that, okay, I need to understand that part. I click here and see what is happening here. Or I need to understand both what is coming in to that node, what is coming out. I click to the node and see certain detailed description in a table. That is one way of visualization. And another one, well, that's how to choose between them. Whatever you like. Whatever you like, you can go to another way of looking inside. Let's try to use that same column. I want to understand where region cluster comes from. Okay, I search for it and see, okay, it's coming to the latest level from these two views. And those views, we need those columns. And can dig further and further on, understand what is in turn source for that cluster and that ship to CD. Let's quickly show that it is possible also here. Okay, we've got further drill down to what's coming into the final region cluster. And finally, another way of visualization. Well, that actually requires a connection between all these tables that are in the transformation pipeline. And instead of getting visualization, we just know that, okay, region cluster, that is for developers or analysts who understand where is the region cluster, on what level it is. Well, in that example, I do know that it is a final report that is presented on a dashboard. And for each level, I can see the sources that is finally resulted in a region cluster. And of course, I can click on any of these in turn steps and understand what is used to build certain target. Well, that was their backward analysis. So same can be done for the forward. What it means, now we're trying to look from target to the source, understanding where the target comes from. Same can be done from the source to target. So here there are all names from all name fields from all tables. Let me put here an example for, let's say, product CD. And sorry. I was choosing product CD. Well, I've got the source. I see that it is coming from that column of that precise table, and so on. I can dig further on and understand the target column. I've got the target column product code. That target column is in turn the source for other columns. That gives me ability to proceed searching for the product code. And adding that, I will also get what is the source, where the source product code is used further on in all the pipelines. And here it is. I can go further and also keep clicking and understanding how that product code goes through all the pipelines up into the report. Well, that's it about what we've got as a result. And here I can go to the, well, can show what is done inside Power BI, what queries are built in order to make that possible. Before that, let me look through your questions. So, well, it's a production report, but actually you won't see here any production data. So that data was anonymized before the presentation, of course. Caption should is considered. Well, the question about what should data lineage should capture? Well, it should answer the questions for you. What's happening with my data, where it's used and where it is not used, and what is the source and where the target is coming from. The question was about if there is an attribute in a data set that is changing, but is not taking part in a transformation, as I have understood the question. If it is happening in terms of data lineage, in terms of answering to the questions we have, there is no need to capture that. If value of an attribute changes, okay, that's a normal behavior for the values. If let's name an example, let's take an example when the name of an attribute changes, of course, that needs to be captured in data lineage. We should change it. How to change it? Oh, okay, now we've got that source targets, and now let's assume that attribute is a column. Name of a column has changed. We change it here. That's it. Another question. Looks like you can solve any task with Power BI. Do you use it for any kind of personal purposes? Yes, of course. That's about the latest example is taking the data from my brokerage accounts, from investments accounts, combining them and showing the results of the investments all in one through all the accounts in one place. That is a sort of how visualizations can be used and analytics can be used. In terms of ETL transformations that are inside Power BI can be used for transformation also. Also, I was parsing the advertisement at the sites, my home GA, SSGA, that are for the flat rent and or the flat for the flat selling, and taking all of those advertisements that I haven't yet seen. because they are renewing, and there are a lot of advertisements that do repeat when you try to search them directly through the sites. Well, combining two sites together and filtering out what is not yet seen. That is ETL application of Power BI in my private life. Next question: was Collibra slow to develop, implement, or slow to run? Well, actually both. Well, Collibra is a tool, well, not developed by us. It is a corporate level tool. In order to implement this, there are certain well, trainings to be passed, accesses required to be got, and well, it's a long run. It's a long run, and when using it, it's not that quick as I have shown you, and well, it is much more powerful than Power BI, but not so quick either to implement or to develop. Well, that's it about the questions in the chat. So I see that we do have some time left, so that I can show a bit inside Power BI how it is technically was done. Let me open certain file. Well, here is a query open. Let me close it. And Power BI, here it is. So desktop, Power BI desktop. Of course, first what we need to do is make certain transformations. What are they? There are two kinds of. Let me try to quickly show how that Sankey diagram was built. In order to do so, for each table that we have in source target, here are the tables for certain targets. We are describing what are the sources, and that is done for each table on each level. So we are getting those tables. Here are some queries getting those tables with minimum transformations, just collecting them all together. And finally, we collect that into so-called Sankey columns. That is also pretty simple. It's just combine all tables in one. And finally, we are getting that kind of table. Let me show it perhaps on the free page in that report. So all tables combined in one gives us that table Sankey columns. It looks like that one. All sources, all transformations, and all targets put together. Big table. And if we will start putting it here on visualization, well, it will be the same table. But what can be done within Power BI, it is that Sankey diagram. Let me perhaps show a quick transformation of it into the table and back. Let's start from the simpler one. So we've got table. We've got table, Sankey columns, all coming from Sankey columns. And what we are placing on the visualization, what we need to know about transformations. Let it load. Transform back into the table, I guess. Here it is. So actually, that's simple. We've got source table and target table. Fortunately, we've got those names unique. There is no duplicates in naming. Otherwise, there should be a key. Those sources and targets should be unique. Since you've got it, since those source and target are unique, and all you need to do is just drag certain columns to visualization, and just click to visualize all that table into Sankey diagram. And here it is transformed into a diagram, and that's it. Well, we have tried to build the same in Tableau, but it wasn't that quick, not that easy. Why Tableau? Because it's also a reporting tool used on a project within a company of our client. Well, now, not that easy to do almost the same in Tableau. And I actually shared that presentation that I'm doing now on Tbilisi Data Fest, and then found some guys who even doing all that stuff not for themselves, but for a client. So here we've got actually technical data lineage that gives us how technically data is transformed through the pipeline. They have gone further on, and they have implemented even data dictionary through that kind of visualizations or similar kind of visualizations, so that you can go through the business meaning from the definition written in certain business language into the technical lineage, to the sources from the zero level. What is needed to build certain KPI with a certain business definition. And since guys are building pretty much the same in prod, well, I think it would be available to share with you, or also the reason I'm sharing it, it's a sort of chance to get feedback, like there is another way, there is a better way. There can be other visualizations used, or Tableau also can be used for it, because it is also easy to use it in Tableau. Maybe I'm not that good Tableau developer as Power BI developer. I know both. A little bit better in Power BI and less in Tableau. So here.
Thank you, Aleksei, for your presentation. We have one more question. Yeah, how do you merge data without common key and many-to-many relationship? Yeah, I don't know how
merge data without common key.
Yeah, you can read the question.
Yeah, yes, I do understand. I can read the question, but actually, common key. Well, I don't understand what common key means here. As a key, we use. Well, I said that our names, that column names, are well, what common is the table names. They are unique, and that gives us a reason to use them as a key. Well, that's it. The name is a key, and that allows us to merge this into the Sankey diagram through the visualization. And if you are talking about the connection between data layers, of course, the last visualization that I have shown, it requires many relationships, because all same source can be used in many targets, and certainly many targets can be coming out of several sources. What is good with Power BI, and why it is not implemented in Excel, because Power BI has that many-to-many relationships, and they can be activated even they are not active now. So here we've got a connection by source to Well, that's a zero level. Okay, naming
Mhm.
convention. Anyway, many relationships they can be processed by Power BI, and that's what Power BI is doing.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Alexei, for your presentation. Yeah. So if anybody has any more questions, I think they can connect you directly. Yeah, via community platform. Uh, yeah. Thank you very much, Alexei. So yeah, next speaker will be Dmitry. He will share a great story about using Apache Superset tool. So yeah, see you in a few minutes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.